My name is Marc Dunn. I'm a certified addiction recovery coach. I've worked with hundreds of addicts to help them make lifestyle changes, and which I believe is necessary for addiction recovery. I myself am a recovering addict. My recovery date is November 29th, 2005. Tuesday night I went to the Broward County Jail, which I do often. And I go there to speak to inmates. They sit there and they have their own meetings. They have people like me that come in and talk to them. There's usually about 100 of them in the cell block that I go to. They're all in their blue jumpsuits. Usually it's interesting, they're pretty excited to see somebody come in to speak to them. It's a privilege to go there and to be able to share with these guys. It's also a privilege to be able to get out. And this Tuesday night, they were just finishing up saying the introductory remarks and reading from the big book. And the group leader asked if anybody had a burning desire. And one of the young men sitting in the front row raised his hand, and he said, yes, he had a burning desire. And what that means is there's something that's troubling them, and do they need to talk about it now, or it may cause them more issues. His burning desire was that he was getting out soon, and he knew that he would be driving home, or somebody would be driving him home, and that he was probably going to be offered a joint. And he was afraid. He didn't know how to handle that. Each one of them had good suggestions that came out of recovery. And for each one of the suggestions that somebody made, this young guy would say, no, but. And I sat there, smiling and listening to this. And then I got introduced. And I told the guys that, I'm here tonight, and I want to talk to you about lifestyle changes and what has to be different if you're going to stay in recovery and not in relapse. And I paused for a minute, and then I looked at this young guy, and I said, you're going to relapse. You don't have enough humility. And he goes, but. I said, no, shut the F up. All you have is excuses. There is no way that you're going home and not relapsing. And I spent the next 40, 45 minutes talking about lifestyle changes. And I apologized to him a couple minutes into my remarks, because I wanted to get out of there alive, but I just wanted to make sure that he understood I was using this as a teaching moment. See, what I learned is that the drug or the alcohol is just a symptom. What's really going on is a mental health issue. What's really going on that needs to change is your lifestyle. Recovery is about changes to your mind, to your body, and spiritually. And when I say spiritually, I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about anything other than understanding that there is an almighty power to this universe, and it's not me. We need to point out to people in recovery that we understand it's a very uncomfortable process they're going through. And that uncomfortability is doing things different than they did them before. And that over time, doing the things differently will become comfortable. And everything that was uncomfortable to them in the beginning will change. But we're not a disciplined group. We need some kind of structure in our life. You become more aware of yourself. You become aware of a lot of emotions that you've been trying not to be aware of your entire life. And I thought that being aware of these emotions or feeling these emotions was going to take away from me as a man. What I didn't understand was that these feelings, they're normal. Everybody has these feelings. Anger, fear, guilt, those are all normal feelings. What I teach the people that I teach and that I work with in recovery is that go ahead and feel it. Feel it with every fiber of your soul. Go ahead and acknowledge the feeling. Don't take a drug. Recovery is a process of solution. It's not a process of cure. Remember this, recovery does work. Once someone recovers from addiction, their lifestyle becomes better, their quality of life improves, and that disruptive part of the life, that what was interrupted was temporary, and it becomes greater and better than it ever was before. Thank you.